What's up, world? It's your boy AP with AP's NBA Daily Picks. And man, I've been on the grind, man. I've been grinding all day, man. I got different type of businesses, you know what I'm saying? Herbal business, um, herbal teas, health products, sea moss. Y'all tap in with me if y'all want to get that. And also, I've been preparing and planning. I'm gonna execute. Uh, um, if you're on the Gulf Coast of Mississippi, I'm going to have a basketball camps for junior high students all the way up into seniors of high school. Basketball camps, skills training. I'm going to be giving back to the community in that way. If you got anybody interested in the Gulf Coast area of Mississippi, New Orleans area, holla at me, man. Comment under there. Follow me on Instagram at APs_world, APS 2 underscores and world. That's my Instagram. And I definitely check the comments here. But this video, y'all bear with me. I got a lot of notes. They're all over the place. I may repeat myself a couple of times, but I'm going to go through an in-depth analysis of the NBA Finals, Indiana Pacers versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm just going to go to FanDuel right quick, and I want to see if the lines moved. I'm recording this at 5 o'clock on Thursday, a couple hours before the game. I'm sorry for y'all that won't be able to probably use this knowledge for this game one, but you can use this knowledge and make your own picks, make your own assumptions, you know, from your own data. But this is just some things that I've came across. But let's see the, I want to see what the spread is. I know it's -9.5, I believe. Yeah, so Indiana Pacers are getting 9.5 points, and the over and under is 230. For the Indiana Pacers on the money line is plus 360, and for the Oklahoma City Thunder on the money line it's -460. And Oklahoma City Thunder, yeah, -9.5. Okay, so I'm gonna go through some of my notes right here. I got a lot of notes, y'all. So thank y'all for tuning in. I'm about to get into it. Y'all see me looking down, so I'm reading from my laptop right here. Let's see. Okay, so I got the Oklahoma City Thunder game one playoff averages through 3 quarters, and this is the Oklahoma City Thunder in all of the game ones, 3 games. This is their this is their average through 3 quarters. So I wanted to use the average through 3 quarters just in case of a blowout. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all, it was really difficult for me to analyze these games because you got the Pacers, fast-paced offense, a very efficient offense, and the Pacers aren't that bad in defense, and the Pacers have a great, I want to say the number 2 transition defensive team in the NBA, but check my stats on that. And so Oklahoma City Thunder, swarming defense. Now you got a swarming defense against a high-powered offense, fast-paced offense, but you got Indiana that can decrease transition points. And the Oklahoma City Thunder get out in transition a lot. And one thing about the OKC Thunder is, at times and periods, they don't shoot well from the three-point line. But I've noticed that home games, their role players tend to shoot better. So in my opinion, I just be up front. I think the Oklahoma City Thunder can win this series, and Shai Alexander can get his first NBA championship. Only thing that I like that gives me the edge on that is that OKC, they got the home court advantage right now in this period. But I wouldn't be mad at anybody to go for that plus 360 today and take Indiana on the money line, because I think they can pull a game off. We've seen Oklahoma City Thunder lose a game one against Denver, and I think in this point right now, I think the Indiana Pacers is a better team than Denver was. So I wouldn't be mad at you either way. Just for the home court advantage, I like OKC on the money line. I can throw a couple little player props in there that I think for sure to hit to make it get up to even money. But I'm not even really comfortable with taking OKC minus 9.5 points. I'm going to watch the game live and see what goes down. But let me go through this. So this is just through 3 quarters. So Shai Alexander, he averages So let me scroll down. This is just the table. This is all the stats right here. I want to get to the average. I'm sorry, y'all. Man. Well, in all the game ones played, Shai Alexander only had 9 rebounds in all 3 of those games. Jalen Williams had 17 rebounds in all 3 of those games. Let's go. Shai Alexander, he only had 9 3-point attempts and made 1 in all the game ones. Jalen Williams had 8 3-point attempts. He made 3. Chet Holmgren had 9 3-point attempts and he made 4. Isaiah Hartenstein, he didn't tip any threes. He got 15. So out of all the game ones, it looks like Chet Holmgren had the most rebounds for 22 out of 3 games. So I'm sorry. Here's the averages through 3 quarters. So in game 1, Shai Alexander only averaged 17.7 points. This is just through 3 quarters. He averaged 3 rebounds through 3 quarters, 4 assists through 3 quarters, 0.3 3-pointers made, 1.3 steals, 0.7 blocks. He averaged 13.7 field goal attempts and 5.7 free throw attempts. Jalen Williams, he averaged 15 points per game through 3 quarters. Now this is first, second, third quarter, not including the 4th quarter. Like I said, I'm not sure if it'll be a blowout and how the minutes will be in the 4th quarter. So I'm just looking for player props that I think they can hit in 3 quarters. So to be honest, I seen a line for both Shai Alexander and Jalen Williams points, and I'll just go back to it. I like the under on those, but I'm definitely not messing with Shai Alexander because he can go for 40. So I would not put him in the under. And really, it's really Jalen Williams. I just think his prop is too high at 22.5. But by the sports books making these lines so high, that's letting me know they're thinking it's going to be a fast-paced game with a lot of more possessions. And from what the data is giving me from the rebounds and the assists, just through 3 quarters, Shai Alexander's only averaging 4 and 3 rebounds. Probably can take him under his rebounds and assists also. I think that Indiana's going to be sending a lot of people his way. I think he's going to be getting the hockey assists, but I don't think he's going to be getting the main assists. That's just my assumptions. The game can go totally different. I mean, Rick Carlisle can come out there and do a magic trick and hold his guys back and then change his whole plan the next game. But right now, and honestly, I just want to go through the OKC Thunder player props because I'm just focusing on them because they're at home, and I think that they can play better at home. But this is a whole nother different series. This game 1 can give me clues, and I can get insights from game 1 on how to move forward and study and analyze these players. So we got Jalen Williams, like I said, he's averaging. These are all game 1s though. Now, got a different breakdown for different games, but these are game 1s in the playoffs this season. Jalen Williams averaging 15 points. Like I said, I think I take it under the 22.5. He's averaging 5.7 rebounds and 4.3 assists. He's only averaging 1 3-pointer made. He's averaging 1 block through 3 quarters. And he's averaging 12 field goal attempts, 1.3 free throw attempts. That's where I think he's going to come short at. He's probably not going to get to the line that much. I like Jalen Williams under his points. I do like him over his rebounds and assists if you can get it at 9.5, because he's getting 5.7 rebounds, 4.3 assists. I'll just make that 10, and I like it at 9.5. Now this is just through 3 quarters. Now we have Chet Holmgren. He's averaging 12.7 points per game, and his line is at 16.5. I think that line is dead on the money. I would, however you want to go with that, either or. I do think Chet will get a few more minutes in this series, but I'm not too heavy on his points over and under. If I had to make a pick, I lean to the over. Now his rebounds per game through 3 quarters is at 7.3. His line is 9.5 tonight, 10 points for game 1. 10 rebounds for game 1. I like that under. I just think it's marked too high. He can have some big rebounding games, but he's got to get 3 rebounds in the fourth quarter. And if it's a blowout, he's not even going to be in there. So I do like Chet Holmgren under. I'm just going to go with some things. I'm not going to mess with Shea. Jalen Williams under his points. Over his rebounds and assists. I'm not going to mess with Chet. I like my Chet under his rebounds. He's averaging 1.7 assists, 1.3 three-pointers made, 0.3 steals, 3 blocks. I like Chet blocks. And for something on the side, Jalen Williams, he's averaging 1 block. I mean, he get some plus money. Let's see what Jalen Williams for 1 block. What's that? I'm going on FanDuel, y'all. 1 block. They're not even showing Jalen Williams for 1 block. They only giving me Turner, Chet Holmgren, Isaiah Hartenstein. So I'm not even going to worry about that. Okay. Next, we got Isaiah Hartenstein. Now, he's averaging 12 points per game through 3 quarters. These are all game ones. He's averaging 5 rebounds, 2.3 assists, 0.3 steals, 0 blocks, 8.3 field goal attempts, 0 free throw attempts. Only thing with this series, I'm just not sure how many minutes Isaiah Hartenstein is going to get. But by him being a veteran and a great rebounder, I would actually take him over. I think his points props is 7.5. Isaiah Hartenstein over 7.5 points. Now that's might be a very sweaty bet, because if it's a blowout, he might not get many minutes at halftime. And if the game is too fast of a pace for him, he might not see many minutes, and they might have to go with a small ball lineup. But I do like Isaiah Hartenstein over his points prop. Let me go back to FanDuel. I believe his points prop for game 1 is Isaiah Hartenstein on FanDuel at 7.5, so 8 points. He's averaging 12 through 3 quarters. So I would like Isaiah Hartenstein over that. He's averaging 5 rebounds through 3 quarters. What's his rebound line? His rebound line is at 6.5, 7. I would stay away from that. It's a little too sweaty. But if I had to make a pick, I would say over his rebound prop. And I like him for 2 assists. I think Isaiah Hartenstein can pass the ball. He's averaging 2 assists through 3 quarters. I like Isaiah Hartenstein for 2 assists. Might do a thing where I'll do him over his points and assists. Combine those together. I think it's like at 10.5. No, so at 7.5 is assist lines. 1.5 might be like 10. So I would take him over his points and assists definitely. Now we got Lu Dort. He's averaging 9.3 points per game, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. He's averaging 2.7 three-pointers made, 1 steal, 1 block. He's getting 8 field goal attempts. He's not getting to the free throw line. With Lu Dort, what I like is I like to take him for 2 3-pointers. Lu Dort, 2 threes. He shoots the ball better at home. And I think I like Lu Dort under his rebounds. He's only getting 2 through 4 quarters. If I can get him under rebounds and assists, he only get 1 assist. That means he got to get 2 rebounds in the 4th quarter. And then he got some blowout potential. If I could take an alt line with Lu Dort, maybe at 4.5 rebounds, I would add that into this same game parlay that I'm putting together right now. I like him with his steals, but Indiana doesn't turn the ball over that much. So I'm going to stay away from steals in this particular game. I can watch and see if the pressure does get to them. I'm not going to touch Isaiah Joe. Even though I think he's going to get some, I think Isaiah Joe's going to get some run in this particular playoff series, because if it goes to small ball and when he's in there matched up with T.J. McConnell, I think T.J. McConnell is going to have trouble guarding Isaiah Joe. He has a height advantage over him, and Isaiah Joe can shoot the ball. But just in this game, I'm going to fall back. I'm not going to mess with him. And we got Alex Caruso. He's averaging 6.3 points per game. This is through 3 quarters and all the game ones. 2 rebounds, 2.3 assists, 1.7 3-pointers made, 1.7 steals, 1 block. He's only getting 3.7 field goal attempts. So Alex Caruso, I'm just gonna stay away from him all the way. I want to see how he plays. In my opinion, I think he's going to be heavy into the rotation because he brings a defensive presence and he brings championship experience. OG veteran in the game. Looking at him, I would look for his assists because I think like he'll be one of those guys getting that hockey assist. He'll be catching and he'll be looking to pass to the corner for maybe like Dort threes or Chet Holmgren threes. I watched some live footage of him. I went back and watched some games, and he doesn't pass the ball that well. He has a great IQ, but sometimes his passes are a little bit off. So I'm just gonna fall back from Alex Caruso, and just watch and see what Indiana does in their offense to put him at a disadvantage. Because I think they're gonna try to get him switched off down low against a guy like Miles Turner or even Siakam, and they're gonna abuse him down there. Even though he has some luck with Jokic, I just think Siakam is a little bit more crafty, has more agility than Jokic, and I think Caruso have a little bit of problems down low with him. But maybe at the perimeter, he can keep him in front of him. Cason Wallace. Now, this is a player I think is going to get a lot of major minutes. Now, just points per game through 3 quarters. If I'm just going just off this data, I'm not going to mess with him. But he is getting 3 rebounds, and that's his line. 3 rebounds. He's getting 2 assists. Whew. I have to put. I like Cason Wallace rebounds and assists because I think he's going. I think Indiana's going to just let him shoot, let him get the ball. They're going to try to make him run. They're going to try to make him make decisions in offense because they're going to want to get the ball out of Jalen Williams' hands, out of Shai Alexander's hands. They're going to make him make some plays, and I think Cason Wallace has the ability to make those plays, and I think he's going to get the run because him and Dort, when they get out there together, they're there to cause chaos on the defensive end. So I do think Cason Wallace, let's see what his rebounds and assists are. Player combos, rebounds and assists. My bad, y'all. I don't see him on here. But 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Cason Wallace. I like that. I just think he's gonna be out there getting some burn. Aaron Wiggins is not enough data there. You know, Kendrick Williams. They don't have props for him on FanDuel. Now, this is some assist distribution. Who assisted to whom the most in those 3 game ones? It's only through 3 quarters. Now, this is why I like Isaiah Hartenstein over his points because Shai Alexander had 3 assists to him. He had 2 assists to Dort. That's why I like Dort for the 2 threes. Jalen Williams assists to Isaiah Hartenstein on most of those 3 games. Chet Holmgren assists to Dort. That's why I like Dort for 2 threes. And Isaiah Hartenstein, he got 2 assists to Jalen Williams. Because I see a connection between Jalen Williams and Isaiah Hartenstein. They look for each other on the court. That's why I like Hartenstein for the 2 assists in this particular spot. And so my thing is this. Shai's going to have to move out the ball. So the players that get assists to Shai, like Jalen Williams, looking at Isaiah not Isaiah Hartenstein. He's not getting the ball. He's getting the ball most of Jalen Williams. But Jalen Williams is getting the ball to Shai Alexander. Alex Caruso is getting the ball to Shai Alexander. So they have, like I'm saying, people like Caruso or Jalen Williams, they have Shai Alexander for their target. I mean, all the other players, because he's got to move without the ball. So getting those 2 assists for like a player like Isaiah Hartenstein, Cason Wallace, I think that they can get those 2 assists if they can find Shai. So over those game ones, in a total, OKC got 19 steals and 18 blocks. That's that defensive presence right there. That's that defensive presence. They got 6 steals per game, 6 blocks per game in the game ones. Now here's some trends and similarities that I'm seeing. SGA scoring and playmaking. He's the primary engine. High field goal attempts, high free throw attempts, but his 3-point percentage is low in these game ones. Jalen Williams, he's an all-around contributor. He scores efficiently, strong rebounder for his position. And he's a secondary playmaker. Also active defensively. Chet Holmgren's impact with the blocks. He has 3 blocks per game through 3 quarters in game ones. That's huge. Isaiah Hartenstein is shooting a very high field goal percentage. That's why I like his points over. And also, I like Chet Holmgren's blocks. Lou Dort, he's a 3-and-D role player. He takes a lot of threes and hits them in a decent clip. Even at home, that's why I like him at his 2 threes. Like I said, Alex Caruso, he's active on the defensive end. He's kind of good 3-point shooter as well, but I have to really see how much energy is he going to exert on the defensive end, and if he's going to be looking for a shot like that. Secondary defense, OKC averaged the most steals in the second quarter in these games. So one thing I do like OKC in the second quarter. I like OKC in the second quarter. And the OKC doesn't have a balanced scoring attack. These lines are just so high. I'm just wondering what the sports books are seeing. I mean, Shai Alexander line's at 34 points. I mean, Jesus. They think he's going to get to the free throw line. Now, the player usage rate. Shai Alexander has a 34.7 usage rate. Jalen Williams, 26.3 usage rate. Chet Holmgren, 22.3 usage rate. Isaiah Hartenstein, 19.6. Now you got Casey Wallace is down low. He didn't get many minutes in all the game ones. I think his usage rate will get up. But as you see, Shai Alexander, Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, those are the guys for the OKC Thunder. Like I said, SGA has 34.7%. He's an elite usage. This means a very high percentage of OKC's offense possessions in with him taking a shot, getting to the free throw line, or possibly turning the ball over. So he has high scoring potential and he has high assist potential. Just for some reason, in game ones through 3 quarters, he's not getting that many assists. Jalen Williams cleared the second option offensively. Now, in this particular series, I think Jalen Williams is going to be the one getting the assists. Because once it gets out of Shai Alexander's hands, it's going to get to Jalen Williams. He likes to get downhill, and if he's not there to finish, he can pass the ball pretty well. So I think his rebounds and assists is the way to go here. Let's see. So now, I want to go and dissect Indiana Pacers a bit, just their style of play. Let's see, Halliburton, he's the engine of the Indiana Pacers. Has a positive attitude, and I think the attitude makes the other players around him better. His positive leadership. He's high in assists, good in efficiency, and he runs their offense. That's why the Indiana Pacers offense is like an oil machine. Now, one thing about the Indiana Pacers, they throw the ball ahead, and I think that's a lost art in today's game. They're moving the ball fast, and the ball moves faster than any person can ever move. They have higher fast break points. They have more points in the paint, potentially more free throw attempts for their wings and forwards attacking off the catch. How this might impact OKC defense, it might test their transition defense. The Indiana Pacers offensive style is going to test the OKC defense and their transition defense. And it could lead to OKC getting more fouls and also them being late rotating or scrambling around. And it may inflate the field goal percentage OKC can't set their defense. Pace and blend their offense. The Pacers play fast. They change ends quickly. If the initial attack doesn't work, they flow into ghost screens, flare screens, creating a blender where defenders are constantly moving and reacting. The theory is that this style of offense tires out the defense, creates confusion, and forces difficult rotations. Most NBA players excel against closeouts, which this style generates. So that means somebody's coming out to close out the way the Indiana Pacers do, and it puts the defender at a disadvantage. That's what I'm saying. Got high-powered offense against high-powered defense. That's why I think this series may be a little closer than what people think it may be. But I just think it's going to be hard to beat OKC. They're going to have to beat them 2 times in a row somewhere down the line. I think it's going to be hard. Now, Indiana Pacers also, they create the cross matches. So the pace in the early offense often results in defensive mismatches, meaning like a big on the guard or vice versa. And Pacers, they exploit this. That's why I think Isaiah Hartenstein might be limited in minutes, because if the Pacers start putting him into awkward positions, they're going to have to make some adjustments. The OKC is stat impact with the Pacers. Siakam and Turner could get easy post buckets or draw fouls. The guards might get driving lanes against slower bigs. So yeah. And one interesting thing, I don't have the data for this, but TJ McConnell, man, you look at him, the guy like he can work for Best Buy, man. No disrespect to him. I'm just saying off the eye test. But when he gets in the game, he turns up. He keeps the pace going. He can drive the lane. He can pass the ball well. I think he may be a defensive liability in this series, but he doesn't get that many minutes. But when he gets into the game, he has a high usage rate, and he keeps the flow of the game going, man. He pushes the pace. He comes off the bench and increases the pace, like I'm saying, and defensive pressure. It's really no drop-off when Halliburton rests. McConnell gets high energy stats, steals, assists, quick points, and he can disrupt the rhythm of the OKC when he's coming into the game. So that's a valuable point and stretch in that in the game. Whenever Halliburton goes and takes a rest and TJ McConnell comes in, if the OKC doesn't take advantage of those 10 minutes or however long McConnell comes in, they can keep the game close, and the Pacers can maybe pull this thing out. If they can't just shut down McConnell. I mean, if I'm the OKC Thunder right now, as soon as I see McConnell coming in the game, I'm shooting Cason Wallace out there on him. I'm shooting Cason. I say, Cason Wallace, don't let him touch the ball. Don't let him breathe. We're not going to let him do all that penetration and Steve Nash dribbling around circles and pulling up and everything like that. Let's get physical with him. Let's give him a good bow to the nose. Let's give him a good, hold him, grab him. We do not want him getting out there, pushing the pace, and getting the lead and beating us in that 4 or 5 minutes that he comes in the end of the first, going into the second. We want to be able to take advantage of him on the offensive end, which I think that OKC are going to try to take advantage of TJ McConnell when he gets there. But Rick Carlisle is smart. I think he's going to have some tricks up his sleeve from where OKC tries that, but we'll see. And the Indiana Pacers, they don't always hunt the perfect ISO mismatch if it slows them down. They value continuous movement and forcing defensive decisions. They prioritize a dynamic offense over a static one, and a confused defense is a vulnerable defense. So they're going to try to exploit the OKC. Stat impact, Pacers. The ball doesn't stick. Many players get touches and shot attempts. So that's why it's hard to know who's going to have a breakout game for the Pacers, because they distribute the ball equally. I mean, you can have a Siakam can get a game, Mathurin can have a game, Nembhard can have a game, Nesmith can have a game. As you can see over this playoff stretch, I think Nembhard game was the last game where they closed out against New York, and we know Aaron Nesmith went crazy with that comeback victory in New York. So anybody can really have a game here. So Halliburton doesn't have to go out there and score 20 points, and he can go out there and just initiate the offense. Push the pace of the offense, and the Pacers won't drop off in points. Now, and vice versa, if Shai Alexander go out there and put up 14 points, it's going to be a tough night for OKC. And Indiana, they take care of the ball. That's why I love betting on the OKC player Thunder's steal stats, but I need to see if the pressure's going to get to Indiana or not when I'm taking these steals. Now, going back to OKC defensive strategies. They got 15 guys that can go out there and play some defense. They're highly connected. They're a disciplined team on defense. Everybody rotates in sync. This minimizes breakdowns, ensures help is always available, and makes it hard for offenses to find easy shots. What that has on the impact is lower opponent field goal percentage, fewer uncontested shots, forces opponents into tougher late shot clock situations, potentially more defensive rebounds as a team. So that might tell you right there why guys like Chet Holmgren rebound stats, rebound prop line is at 9.5, because I guess the sports books are saying that they're going to force Indiana into shooting some tough shots. So it's going to be a lot more missed shots and a lot more pace. The perimeter, man, Jalen Williams, Dort, Shea Alexander, they all got great hands and can get steals. They disrupt ball handlers. They create deflections, and the steals lead to transition points. Then again, like I said, Indiana, they take care of the ball well, but this is just some things that I've noticed from the OKC defense. Halliburton and McConnell will be challenged, and they have risk of getting high turnovers. And OKC does have versatile big men, Holmgren and Hartenstein. They're athletic, and Kendrick Williams, when he comes off, they're athletic. They can protect the rim, they can switch and play off different coverages. But one side note, I do think Miles Turner might have a slight advantage when he plays at home against Hartenstein. I can dive into that a little bit later. Stat impact, Holmgren, Hartenstein, they can get high blocks and defensive rebounds, and their mobility could be key against the Pacers' pick and roll and drives. Now you got Alex Caruso, man, the ultimate Swiss Army knife. He can guard multiple positions, high IQ, always in the right place, huge plus-minus impact beyond box score stats. His versatility and intelligence allow OKC to deploy him against various threats and in multiple schemes. He is a defensive problem solver. He has high defensive stats. Whoever Caruso guards will have a tough night. He can disrupt plays without fouling. Like I said, me personally, I don't think that he's going to make it that tough for Pascal Siakam, but I can see him out there bothering McConnell, Nembhard, even Halliburton. I got so many notes, man. I can go on and on for days. Pacers' pace might mean more possessions. Sometimes chaotic defenses could give SGA lanes if OKC breaks the first line. However, OKC defense generates turnovers. SGA will get transition opportunities where he excels. His points could be high. Assists might depend on how much the Pacers' defense collapses on him. Jalen Williams, similar to SGA, could benefit from transition. His ability to attack closeouts would be useful if OKC's ball movement can force Pacers' rotation. Rebound would be important against a team that crashes the glass. Tyrese Halliburton. OKC's strong defense and active hands will be the toughest test for his assist numbers and low turnover rate. He'll need to be exceptionally creative. His scoring might need to increase if passing lanes are tight. Now, this is what I'm seeing in this game. It's going to go down to turnovers, field goal percentage, transition points. That's pretty much what I'm seeing. So if Indiana can not turn the ball over, they'll have a chance in this, because it's going to slow a lot of the points down for OKC and turn to a half-court game. Now OKC got knocked down some shots, but they do have the home court advantage, and they do shoot the ball. Seems like they shoot the ball better, the role players do at home. Now, this is some notes I took from Rick Carlisle and what he sees. His team is a very unselfish team. They have an unselfish culture, like I've been through. His team construction, they're built on balance, togetherness, skill, tenacity. They're not a top-heavy superstar roster. Contributions from many players. They get bench production as well. They play fast, and that requires excellent conditioning developing in the summer. Their theory, they aim to wear down opponents over the course of games and series. So, when they get to Indiana, man, they might damn wore these boys down, but like OKC is a young team with some fresh legs also, so it might be hard to wear them down. So that wear down tactic might just not work against OKC. They might can tire out a guy like Isaiah Hartenstein, but in my opinion, it looks like Shea, Jalen Williams, Caruso, Wallace, Dort, those guys are in good conditioning. And the Pacers like to attack mismatches. So, like I said, they're going to have Caruso trying to guard Pascal down there. And they're going to attack it. And they're going to get some mismatches and some screens and some role situation into the game where Miles Turner it's gonna be a mouse in the house. He's gonna have a smaller guard on him. So yeah, they attack mismatch. Like I said, I'm just going through an in-depth analysis, y'all. I know it's all over the place, but I'm just scrolling through my notes here on how I notice the styles and plays of both of these teams. Now, in this interview, Rick Carlisle says they have an importance on ball security and rebounding. Rick Carlisle explicitly states they'll need to take care of the ball against OKC turnover and forcing defense and rebound well. If the Pacers fail here, OKC get more possession and easy scores in the transition. So then again, that's why the points are so high, because I guess they think they defensive intensity is going to be so tough, so turned up for the OKC that they're going to cause a lot of transition points, and Williams and Shaz are going to get them points. But I'm going to stick to the data. I don't want to go to theories and what ifs. I'm going to go see what I've already seen through 3 quarters of game ones, and we're going to go there. In my opinion tonight, I may could be wrong, but some of these player prop lines are set too high on FanDuel. Now, in these notes, like I said, with notes everywhere, these are just some betting tip advice. And these are some golden nuggets, things that help me on sports betting on the NBA. You have to have an emotional detachment. Avoid those superstitions and emotionally driven decisions. Don't let a player's hot streak or the media narrative influence your data-driven model.